Great, just noticed I was muted. Right, so what I've been doing is using the polygon lasso tool, and if that's not there, what you need to do underneath where the move option is, hold that down, hold left click on it and select polygon. To start this document, do it roughly about, let's say, 1080p resolution. So when you do file, new, choose 1080p. After that, make sure the background is black. Then add the text. Once the text is added, right click on the layer where the text is and rasterize layer. That way it allows you to do cutting into it. It converts into an actual layer, not actual editable layer, not just text. And then use that polygon lasso tool to cut into it. So like I'm doing here. That way. V is shortcut for moving stuff. So like I'm moving bits of objects. L is to do the cutting in. Once you kind of cut into the layer, you don't have to keep clicking on that. Just double click and then move it at in whatever direction you want. I think I might do a bit on the K over there as well. This one's a bit. Let's do a big chunk here. Yeah, kind of 10 minutes into the stream, I thought that my mic was unmuted. Alright. So yeah, just keep cutting into the letters. Maybe do one here as well. V. V again. Right, so now you've got that text. We then need to mess about with the overlays. Actually, to be fair, if I make that text a little bit bigger, if you up here where you got the settings to move the text about, I'll press Control T by the way. Then what I need to do is maintain the aspect ratio. So at the top here where you've got your y-axis and width and all that, maintain that and kind of just stretch it to fill up most of the page. Leave a bit of black edges on there as well. Right, now what we need to do, we need to get the dry paint layer. That kind of gives you the effect of it. Dry paint. Actually, let's do old dry paint. That way you get the cracks and everything like that. We need something like this, about 2 different tones of colour. Actually, that's not bad. Let's try that. I don't think that will work. So what I did, control right click, and then when you control right, not control right click, I'm on about copy the image. So right click copy, and here just press Control V, and it pastes it. And then press Control T, maintain the aspect ratio. I know it's going to be blurry, but ignore that because what all we really need is the texture of it. Once you're done, apply. Right, once you kind of stretched it over, we need to place it underneath the text. Oh, and make sure it covers up the whole text as well. Just double check. Yeah, so it covers it up. So what we need to do is right click on the object. We need to create clipping art. So it kind of gives you that. You can move it around, so you kind of, so you can kind of do that. Adjust it. I'm not sure I'm liking this. It's a bit too dark in certain areas. Let me see if there's another one. Like this. This might be better. So yeah, again, Control V, stretch that over. I don't care about the aspect ratio anymore. Let's get rid of that for now. Correct clipping. So you can do it again. Move it about. I think that's a lot better. Yeah, that's better. It's whatever your preference is. But for me, I've done this before, but I use a slightly different picture. But hey, at the moment, that's what we got to work with. So adjust it to your liking, wherever you want to place it, to kind of give you that effect. What's next? What's next? Right, we need to kind of blend it in a bit more with the text. I mean, what we need to do is play around with the levels for it. That's what I was going to do. And you can readjust how dark, how light it is. So play around with the sliders. What you prefer is down to you. All this later on is going to be black and white anyway. It's going to give you that glass effect. It's just something to play with for now. So it doesn't really matter about, if the colour distorts on it. Because this is it doesn't really have much colour. Just play around the top part. Don't really mess about with any of the sliders at the bottom. So let's have a look. It's kind of blurry, Dad. I don't know. Right, what we need to do now, and see how this will look. We need to get that broken glass, which is here. In the comments, I'm going to put a link to this. If you want to use it, let me send that over to my other device. So I don't really. Alright. So what you need to do is copy that image. Actually, let me put that quickly in the chat so you can see it. Oh, I disabled the live stream. Chat. Let me quickly enable it. Alright, let's paste it again. See what happens. There you go. In the chat, you should have the link to the file. Right. So right click copy, go back to your Photoshop, Control V to paste it. Obviously this picture is a lot smaller than the text, so what we need to do, we need to resize it again. Control T, make sure it maintains the aspect ratio, and then stretch it over. Yep, it's going to be blurry, but once you apply it, it will kind of smooth it out. What we need to do, we need to play around with, is it overlay? Nope, don't like that. We need to, I think screen, no. Let's go, was it liner color? Nope, don't like that. Let's go lighter, oh, okay. Right, so reposition it to about just above the K. And then change the opacity to, I would say maybe 25%. Maybe a little bit more. 25% is perfect enough. You can use other textures on top of it, but I do like that because it kind of gives you that broken effect. And once we finish setting all this up, you'll see the difference. So what we need to do, we need to edit the layers for it again. So right click, nope, wrong one. At the bottom here, you got that, and then create levels, not layers, my bad. And play around with it again, just to kind of make it a bit darker. Don't really want to make it that light. It's got to be quite faint. Don't really like that. Right. That will have to do. Right. So yeah, again we'll go back to that. Create hue and saturation, and then bring the saturation right down. So like I said, it's going to be black and white. So once that's done, is we need to create click on that menu button again, and brightness and contrast, and then just play around with the brightness a bit, just to bring out the glass just a little bit. Now that that's done, what we need to do is paint over. Is it over, or do I? No. We need to paint over. I think if we choose an option like black color. Yeah. Right, so what we did is make sure this is selected, this box here. Click on the paintbrush, make sure it's black color, and kind of just paint the edges out a bit, so it sort of focuses on the middle part of it. All I'm saying is just kind of paint the outside, so I can't really zoom in here, but this bit here under the layers you kind of do like a black border around it really. To make this bigger as well, a quick shortcut is press hold Alt, right click, and you can just drag it left and right. I think up and down, no, left and right, up and down changes the softness of the edges. See, so yeah, so when I paint it over, that's what it does. Right. Another thing now as well, what we need to do, we need to add broken glass texture. Unfortunately, I don't have a link for that anymore, 'cause I can't remember where I got it from. Actually, let me see if I've got it here. Oh yeah, I do. I'm gonna put that into the chat as well. If this isn't available, because I think I had an issue with this before, I was trying to look for texture on DeviantArt. If this link doesn't work anymore, because they do change quite often, what you need to do is just literally search in that DeviantArt broken glass. That's all it is. It's not really hard to find yourself. So I got the broken glass texture. I kind of want. Let's have a look which one. Yeah, that's the one I used before. So if you do find another one online, make sure it's kind of where it's cracked in the middle, so it's like you hitting I don't know, your screen with a hammer. Drag that over. So as you can see, it's that. You got that there. Make sure you maintain aspect ratio. Drag it over. Don't worry about the placement. Just make sure it covers up the whole page. So there it is. Right. Now what we need to do is set the opacity to screen, which is that. I don't know, brightness of it. Play on the brightness in a minute. So what you need to do, place it over where the broken glass is. See that texture that doesn't make it look good. Really don't like that. What happens if I hide the texture? Where is it? Where's the texture gone? Is that it? No. See, that looks horrible even work. Right. Where's the text? Let me see if I can lower the text brightness. Oh, that makes it better. Right, so what I did, I just lowered the opacity of the text. This might not really apply to you, but and I might even edit a bit of the broken glass again, broken text, so because it doesn't really go in sync with, not in sync, it doesn't really look that great. So I might go back to the cutting tool and cut around this bit just to follow the broken lines. Let me see if this works. Right. Where's the other one? Right, this one here. So let's follow that broken glass bit, and then kind of just shift it away with it here. You don't even really have to leave a gap. You can kind of do it like that. Do another one here, and just kind of slide it along the line, maybe like that. Yeah, see, now it gives you that effect of actually being on the glass itself. I think there's a line here. Let's do that last bit here. Do that. Move it along it. 'Cause really, there's not really a broken glass in between it. It just looks like it's shifted. So you could do that. Not really by much. Let's move it with my mouse to be quicker. Do it like here. Yep, that looks a lot better. Maybe do the L here as well. This one could be done in freeze, so they just highlight the whole thing. Move it along slightly, and then do another one here, and then move that along a little bit as well, like that. So, yep, that looks a lot better. Play around with the text. This is just an example, so I don't really mind if it's not really that cut in. Now you can do it here as well. If you look, do it sort of like that. Yeah. The K could be shifted, but if I shift the K, it won't really look okay. It probably looks like an R eventually. So I'll leave it as it is. Right. Right, let's go back to that. Play around with the opacity of the broken glass, maybe a little bit. Lower it down so it's not overpowering the image. And then what we want to do, we want to kind of add a slight little effect. What did I click on that last time? Was it color balance? No. Right, so just make sure the glass is selected. Let's get rid of that layer. That's not there. And then photo filter. That's it. So click on photo filter. So that button at the bottom opens up menu. Click on photo filter, and I chose yellow or orange. So below was orange. Yeah, orange looks better. And then play around the density of it. Don't really do it too much. You don't want it to overpower the image. Or actually, yeah, choose DPLO, looks better. So once that's done, click on the text. We'll go back on the text again. We right click, convert to smart object, and then we need to go on filter, blur, motion blur, and then actually still doing that. Let me hold Alt, zoom into a certain part of the text, and yet again we'll go back to blur, motion blur, choose the angle, play around the distance. Kind of want it to do along the angle where the glass has been broken. So if you do too much, it looks rubbish. So as long as you can kind of see the cut-ins, they can be blurry, it's fine. So that's it. You can do this with images, so you don't really have to do it with text. If you want to, I'm not sure if you're developing for a game or you want it to just add a photo effect or video, you can do all this as well just by adding the image, doing exactly the same thing as we did here, cutting it along the thing, along the lines. I mean, cut a little bit out, cut corners off, and then yeah, makes a massive difference with the blurriness. I think I might have done it with over blurring it. Let's lower it a little bit. Let's do a 10. Yeah, 10 for me. It varies it varies if it's for you, you know, depends what you're doing, what image. But yeah, that's completed. I'll probably do more Photoshop tutorials later date. This one come out pretty well, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, thanks for watching.